Hey everyone. So it's been, I really don't know how long. Wait, 2 months maybe since my last video. Um, Apologies, I just haven't had anything that I wanted to say in particular. But the topic that I want to talk about today is something that's becoming a lot lately in my life. It's basically when to tell people that you are trans, um, especially if you're uh, on hormones for a while or you already passed with them without being on hormones, if that's what you choose, because more power to you. um, but it's mainly the three facets in life that I'm currently having a trouble with, um, which is work, friendships, and then like romantic relationships. So even though I'm not currently in a relationship like that, um, but with work, it's hard to come out as trans, especially if you live in a state where you can get fired for being trans. Which I think, oh god, I did the research a couple months ago. I think there are 11 states in which you cannot legally be fired based on your gender identity. 11. Just let that sink in. Or no, wait, no, that's gay marriage. Uh, I think it's 7 to 9, if I'm remembering correctly. 7 to 9 states in which you cannot be fired for your gender identity. Yeah, just let that sink in. And I fortunately live in a state, Washington, Washington State, not DC, um, where it's illegal to be fired based on your gender identity, which I'm pretty sure that's why I was fired in my past two jobs, but there's obviously no evidence, but whatever. That's a whole nother drama filled story. Um, but I currently have a new job, and everyone there is great. Uh, I have a couple coworkers that have gay friends, etc. And then you get to thinking, well, maybe I can tell them that I'm trans. And, well, just because someone is accepting of gays and lesbians doesn't mean they're accepting of trans or bisexuals or pansexuals or genderqueers or alphabet soup that is not gay and lesbian. Um, so it's tough to gauge their reactions. Like, you can't just say, "Hey, I'm trans," and expect no, like, I don't know if we'd say fanfare, but it's like a big hoopla. Um, like it, you can't just tell somebody that big of news and expect it to stay quiet. Is I guess what I'm saying. So it's kind of tough because where I work now, it's like this huge family. Um, it's a grocery store, but it's a local grocery store. It's locally owned and all that fun stuff. And so basically, everyone there treats each other like family, and so word gets around to everyone, and then, well, yeah, it's just like, when do you tell somebody that you are trans, if at all, or do you stay stealth? Because in my in my life, I don't say that I'm trans, but I don't deny it. Like, if somebody asks if I'm gay, I'll say no, well, because I'm not. I'm straight trans man. I'm still queer, but I'm not gay. If that makes any sense, it should. It should make sense. But it's just it's tough. And the same goes with friendships. Like when do you reach that point where you can tell somebody that you're trans? Like, and then not have them be like, so what was your birth name, or what's your real name? My real name's Matthew. That's legally it is Matthew. Um, I don't I don't know why you want to know my birth name. That has absolutely no relevance to my life now. You know, and I've read online that a couple people have, said that their friends or their acquaintances or whomever they tell, they're like, well, I don't know if I can call you he now because you used to be a girl. Makes absolutely no sense. It for some reason changes their perspective on you. Like, you were born with a vagina, therefore you are automatically a girl, which I've seen that debate millions of times on different topics of trans. Like, most recently was it Glad? Their Facebook page. I sent it to my friend Tay. Although I call her Tay, she doesn't actually like. I don't know if she likes that nickname, but I call her that anyway. Um, but I sent that to her, and I was reading the comments, and they kept referring to the trans guy as a she. Like, well, he's a guy, so you should use he. I'm assuming that he wants to have male pronouns. So why are you using female pronouns? I don't understand the society that we live in. Like, in other societies, like the Native American society or Native American culture, they have the is it the third not third gender, two gender, two something like that, where the male and female is in the same body, and they're like worshipped. They were worshipped for having two, not the two, having two genders inside them. And here we are ostracizing the trans community for being who they really are. Or not being who they really are. Obviously, everyone is who they are. If they, well, they are who they are, whether anybody else believes them or not. Sorry. But like, I don't understand why people have to automatically feel obligated to know everything about your life. Like, it's just not. It sucks. Because once you tell them you're trans, your entire life story is now their new romance novel that they want to read. And it's not fair to trans people who don't want to tell everyone their story or want everyone to know. So it's like, when do you tell them, if at all? I mean, usually I meet my friends in the queer community already, so they already know that I'm trans or queer in some way, and they don't question it. Always Matthew, cool. So that's basically it. Because we all come from the minority, we try not to judge those in our community. Get what I'm saying? Or at least the people that I have met. I know a couple people who basically get shunned by their community because they are trans and not gay or lesbian or bisexual, and bisexual all has their own drama as well. That's for another story, if at all. Just ask a bi person. But basically, anyone who deviates in gender is a minority within a minority, apparently. or anyone who isn't the LGB, like which in my college we had a GLBTA, and a couple trans guys and I kept calling it the gay LBA because that's basically was it was the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and ally group. There wasn't really anything trans related, and well, they tried the last year that I was there, but it didn't get too far. Um, but regardless, it's tough, and going on to romantic relationships, it's like when do you tell them? Like, do you tell them right away so that they have the full picture, or do you wait until they get to know you before you tell them? Which is, I think, what I would do if we didn't already meet in a queer setting. Like this girl that I like, I'm assuming she's straight. All assumptions, what they mean makes an ass out of you and me. But I've known her for 4 months now, and we're still friends, still like her, but she doesn't know that I'm trans unless, she's snooped on my Facebook page, which I don't think she has, because she rarely ever goes on Facebook. I'm assuming she's more of a Twitter person. I see it open on her phone all the time. Regardless, but no, I guess for all the areas, I'd want somebody to get to know me first before I told them that intimate part of me. I guess you could call it intimate. Oh, it's weird. That's a weird word. Like that very, very personal part of me. Like it's a huge part of my it's a huge part of my life. There's no doubt about that. And if somebody asks if I'm trans, I'll say, well, yeah. But I won't outright say it. But I guess that's just who I am, because I don't outright tell people things unless they ask or the conversation leads to it. But I won't be like, hey, so I just wanted to tell you that I'm trans, F to M, and so want to get pizza tonight? This is just awkward in my opinion, and I'd want to get to know somebody fully, or as much as I could, before telling them that very, very, very personal area of my life. But I'm not what's the word? I'm not willing to answer questions about it or tell somebody. Like, I won't deny it, but I won't outright say it. But I probably won't ever say it in a work setting, just because even if you do slip up, that could be your reason. Like, slip up in any part of work after you tell them you're trans, that could be the reason that you get fired, even though it was one slip up or something. Who knows what employers will do to not employ trans people. I'm sure there are horror stories. Hell, I have horror stories, but well, that's for another time. But I guess that will cover it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section if you want to, or you can message me. Totally okay with either. But I guess I will see you next time whenever I think of a new video idea. Alright, see you guys.